In this tutorial, we'll be sewing A-line gown with gathers. Our fabric is in 4-fold, as you can see. Before we fold our fabric, we need to know the amount of fabric we'll be needing. The largest part of my body is my hip, which is 11.5 inches. Then I'll now add additional 6 inches to it. Once we are done doing that, we need to fold our fabric properly now. So our fabric is in 2-fold. We match the edge. So instead of folding it into 4 now, we'll be folding it in bias because we are cutting an A-line gown. Then we match the edge to meet the edge of that fabric. You can see the way I place it. Then we adjust our fabric properly. And once we are done adjusting the fabric, the next thing we do is to note the bust area. So my quarter of my bust is 11 inches. So I'll note and look for the position where I will get 11 inches. Then plus 1 inch sewing allowance, making 12 inches. So at that point now, I'll note it with my chalk. And that is our chest line. So from the chest line now, I'll mark 8.5 inches upward to note our shoulder line. So once I'm done marking, I'll connect it into a straight line. So that is our shoulder line now. So from the shoulder line, we'll be taking our measurements. So from the shoulder line to the chest line is 8.5. I've already marked that part. So I'll go to the other side of the fabric and mark out 8.5 inches. So once I'm done marking, I'll connect it into a straight line. So this is our chest line now. Then I'll input my shoulder measurement. My shoulder measurement is 8 inches. I'll mark it there. Then I'll repeat the same thing on the chest line. So once I'm done marking the 8 inches, then I'll connect with my straight ruler. Then from the shoulder line now, I'll come down by 1 inch to create the shoulder slope. Then from the center, I'll go in by 3 inches for the neck width. So from that 3 inches point, then I'll connect it straight into the 1 inch that we go down with. So we are done creating our shoulder slope now. Then from the center, we also come down by 3 inches for the neck depth. But if you are a plus size, you come down by 3.5 inches. Please take note. So we connect the neckline now. So once we are done connecting our neckline, we go back to the chest line to note the midpoint. So we measure whatever we have there, then locate the midpoint. Then we mark it out. So from that midpoint now, we go in by ½ inch to create our front armhole. From the shoulder slope, we use our straight ruler to connect to the midpoint. And from that midpoint, we use our armhole curve to connect straight into the chest line. So we have created our front armhole now. So for the back armhole, we place our ruler directly on the midpoint and connect straight into the chest line. So we are done creating our front and back armhole now. The length of our main gown is 34 inches and from the shoulder line to the chest line is 8.5. So 34 minus 8.5 will be left with 26.5 inches. So we mark it out. So that is what we are marking out now. And all our measurements will now begin from the chest line. You can see the way I placed my tape measure. So once I'm done marking the 26 inches round, then I'll connect all the dots into lines. You can see the way I'm tracing it out. So once I'm done connecting, we are done creating our gown. So we go to the shoulder area now. Because we are sewing a sleeveless gown, so we'll be going in by 2 inches from the shoulder slope. Then we connect to the chest line. So this is our new armhole. I hope you understand. For sleeveless, we have to go in. So we are going in by 2 inches. And it is from that 2 inches now that we connect straight into our chest line. But if you want to sew yours with the sleeve, then you will use the previous armhole that we created. But for the purpose of this tutorial, we are creating a sleeveless gown. So we go to the neck area now. From the 3-inch neck depth, we come down by 3 inches. So we are having the total of 6 inches neck depth. Then from the neck area, we go out by 1 inch. So the total neck width we are having is 4 inches and the neck depth is 6 inches. So we now create our new neckline. And the name of the neckline we've just created now is called tank neckline. So we are no longer using the previous neckline. So from the shoulder area now, we had ½ inch sewing allowance. So we go up by ½ inch. Then we connect with our ruler. And once we are done connecting, we have created our sleeveless gown. So the next thing we do now is to cut it out. And don't forget, we'll be cutting the new armhole and the new neckline. So let's cut now. So we are cutting our gown now. So you can use this same pattern to create 2 gowns. If you want the one with sleeve, you are good to go. And if you want to create the sleeveless, you are also good to go. So you follow the fabric gradually. So when you get to the armhole area, don't forget, we are cutting the sleeveless armhole. You can see the way I'm moving my hand. So we go back to the neckline now, cutting the tank neckline. You follow it gradually. Then we'll cut the shoulder area. So we are done cutting our fabric. So we separate the other fabric from it. So we now have our front and back material now. So the side is in fold. We need to slit it open so that we can separate the front from the back. So you place your hand as a guide. You can see the way I place my hand so that we can have accurate cutting. So I'm done cutting it now. So I will open up the fabric. So you can see. So we have our fabric together, right side facing each other. So we now adjust our fabric properly. So now we'll be sewing the shoulder area by ½ inch. So once I'm done sewing, I'll bring it to show us. So I've sewed down the 2 shoulder area. So we'll be turning the neckline with bias now. We have a detailed video on how to turn neckline with bias in this channel. So I will attach the link to the video in the description box below. You place your bias on the right side of the fabric, then use it to turn it to the wrong side. So once I'm done doing that, I'll bring it to show us. So I've attached the bias to the neckline. You can see how it's laying flat and looking very neat. So when we turn it to the right side, you can see how it neatly comes out. So the next thing we do now is to attach the gathers to the gown. So we turn it around, then we measure the hem of our gown. You can see from one edge to the other. So we're having 36 inches, so we'll multiply it by 3. So 36 multiplied by 3 will give us 108 inches. So we'll be needing 108 inches for the front and 108 inches for the back. The length of our gathers is 5 inches, then plus 1.5 inch sewing allowance, making 6.5 inches altogether. So we'll sew the 2 together to make a straight fabric. So we sew in ½ inch at the hem of our fabric as I'm showing us now. Then we run a loose stitch at the other side. So once I'm done doing that, I'll bring it to show us. So I'm done sewing the hem of our fabric to secure the raw edges. Then I also run the loose stitch. So I'll now pick one of the thread to draw in the gathers. You can see the way I'm drawing it in. So this is how I will repeat it all through to the other end. And by the time I'm done doing that, this is how it's going to look like. I've already gathered the one for the front. You can see. So and I'll make sure I align it to the hem of the gown so that they are equal. So let me bring in the gown to show us now. So I'll be turning the gown around. Then the right side will be facing up. Then I'll bring in the gathers. After adjusting the fabric properly, then I'll place it right side facing each other, matching the edges together. So I'll pick the first edge, match it to the other one, then I'll pin it down. Then we'll now adjust the gathers gradually to meet with the main fabric, you can see. So I'll clip it on the other edge as well. Then now adjust the fabric in to be equal with each other. So I'll do this to the other side also, then I'll be showing us. So I've clipped both the front and the back gathers to the main fabric. You can see how I place it. So then I'll now be sewing in 1/2 inch at the edge from one end to the other. Make sure you take in the same amount of fabric, 1/2 inch all through, so that by the time we are joining the side, our fabric will be equal. So I'll be taking the fabric to the sewing machine now, and once I'm done stitching, I'll be bringing it for us to see. So I'm done attaching both the front and the back gathers to the main fabric, and you can see how it neatly comes out and laying flat as well. So I'll be turning the fabric around so that we can sew down the side seam. So we'll be matching the front and the back fabric now. So we clip it down. Then we pick the gathers area. You can see that they both match. Then we clip it down as well. Then we go to the armhole area, adjust it properly. Then we clip it down. So once we are done clipping it down, we take in our sewing allowance. If you had 1 inch, you take it, and if you had 1/2 inch, you take it as well. So we'll repeat the same thing on the other side, and once we are done doing that, I'll be showing us the final look. So always make sure you iron your fabric as you are sewing. So this is the wrong side. You can see how it neatly comes out. We will now be turning our fabric to the right side so that we can see the final look. So we have turned it to the right side, and this is the final look. You can see how it neatly comes out. So by the time you are done sewing yours, it should also look the same way. I will be displaying the gown on the mannequin for us to see. If you enjoyed this tutorial, kindly click on the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.